Yes, welcome back, my dear students. Next is stopping distance. So we understood, I think definition is already given, correct? It is the distance traveled by a body after applying the brake and before stopping the vehicle. So how to derive it? How to derive it? Let us consider a vehicle moving with the velocity v0. Initially it is moving with the velocity v0. Let us apply the brake and the vehicle is stopped at a distance d. Vehicle is stopped at a distance d. Finally, the velocity of the body is 0. It has stopped after moving the distance d. When you apply the brake, acceleration starts decreasing. So we call it as deceleration. What do we call? Deceleration. What is this deceleration? See, after applying the brake, the acceleration starts decreasing. We call it as deceleration is equal to minus a. Let that deceleration is equal to minus a. So using the kinetic equation, that is equation of motion, v square is equal to v naught square plus 2ax. What do we get? V square is 0. Because v is equal to 0 is equal to v naught square plus 2 minus a. After applying the brake, distance travelled is d. Shall I write it as ds? Stopping distance for our reference purpose, let us write it as ds. Okay, we get v naught square plus minus 2a ds. So if we write it, taking it to other side, then we get v naught square is equal to 2a ds, or correct? So ds is equal to v naught square divided by 2a. So we get the expression for the stopping distance, that is ds is equal to v naught square by 2a. This is the expression. So using this, what is the speed? For that speed, what will be the stopping distance? Observing that the speed limit is given for the zones, few of the areas like school zones, hospital zones, accident zones, etc. Hairpin curve, bend regions and all, this is given. Okay, next we are going to speak about the reaction time. What do you mean by reaction time? The word itself says something related to reaction. That itself, see, you are driving a vehicle. You see a person suddenly crossing the road in front of you. Okay? You start reacting. Oh my God, somebody is moving. I have to apply the brake. Then you will apply the brake. The reaction, the time taken, that is the reaction, nothing but the time taken for the reaction is nothing but reaction time. Understood? So the reaction time is a time a person takes to observe, think and act. Observe, think and act. Oh my God, the person is moving. That is observation. Then you are thinking, oh yeah, I have to apply the brake. That is thinking. Then you will apply the brake. That is act. So the time taken by a person for observing, thinking and then acting is nothing but reaction time. Time, it is a time where a person takes to observe, think and act. Reaction time, it is a time taken by a person to observe, think and act. That is the definition for reaction time. And it varies from person to person. It will not be same for all. It varies from person to person. Some may react immediately, some may take time. Some may take very longer time, correct? So that is nothing but reaction time. It depends upon the person. If you want to take an example, let us take one example. Okay. Let us ask your friend to hold the scale in one height and let him drop it, and you have to catch it. Your friend should hold you ask your parents to hold a scale like this at some height. Tell them to drop it. Immediately you have to come and catch it there itself. When you catch it, you have to measure the time taken for the catching. The time taken by you to catch that is nothing but reaction time. Correct? So we can measure that reaction time like this. Initially, the object is at rest. So initial velocity is 0. Correct? Or the object may be moving. So we'll take initially the object is at rest. Acceleration due to gravity g is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Correct? Then you have to calculate the time. So you have to use the kinematic equation x is equal to v naught t plus half gat square. Initial velocity is 0. What about the displacement? Let it be d. D is equal to 0 plus half into minus, that we will substitute later. We will just substitute g, t square. Correct? Half gt square. So what I will get is d is equal to half gt square, or t square is equal to 2d by g. T is equal to square root of 2d by g. Now if you substitute the distance travelled by the body and d, you will get the time interval. Suppose you cannot find out the time. It's very small distance travelled. Your parents are living here and you are catching here. The distance travelled you want to calculate, the time interval you want to calculate. It's very difficult. So what you have to do is, tell them to hold here and you catch. The distance from here to here, you can measure it, correct? The distance, if you substitute here, and if you substitute the acceleration due to gravity value 9.8, that is minus 9.8 here, substitute, then you will get the value of time interval. Understood? Next, that negative sign is for your reference purpose. Okay? This is the formula to calculate the reaction time. Next, relative velocity. What do you mean by relative velocity? Relative velocity means velocity of one object with respect to another object. Velocity of one object with respect to another object means, suppose you are moving in a vehicle, okay, and myself standing outside. Then for me, you are moving, I am at rest, you are moving in a vehicle. So for me, you are moving with some velocity. But for you, you are sitting simply inside the car and I will be moving. So therefore I can say I am moving with some speed. So according to me, your speed, and according to you, my speed. Correct? That is nothing but relative velocity. Easy. And the one example I will give now. There are two vehicles. Suppose one is two buses are moving. Okay? There are two vehicles, two buses are moving with the same velocity. Both are moving with the same speed. But for the person who is sitting in this bus and the person who is sitting in this bus, both are moving, since they are moving in the same speed, they can speak to each other. For this person is at rest. For this person is at rest. Correct? For both of them, they are at rest. So I can say relative velocity is 0. Suppose one vehicle is moving with a faster velocity, another one is slow velocity, then what we can say? No, this person is faster than that person, correct? That is nothing but relative velocity. I think many of you observed, there are two persons moving in a bike. What they will do, friends? They are moving in a bike now. When they are moving, they will start moving with the speed, almost same speed, and they will start speaking, which will irritate for the next person who wants to move front. Please don't do it. It is not good. Okay. So this is about the relative velocity. It is nothing but velocity of one object with respect to another object. Okay. Next. The concept which we are moving for is problems. Before solving the problems, there is one more small concept to complete in this for a theory to complete the theory of this chapter. But before completing the theory, we will solve some problems and then we will complete. Okay. Before solving the problem also, I want to help you with some small guidance. That is, use calculator. For solving the problems, please use calculator for theory purpose. But for your multiple choice questions, that is JEE, NEET or CET, please don't use the calculators. So you have to use calculators. Then for solving the problems, there are some rules. Okay, there are some rules for solving the problems. What are those rules? If suppose, in different cases I will say, okay. This is a ground, this is a building. If the object is falling vertically downwards, any object falling vertically downwards, we will take displacement as negative. Value of displacement as negative. Acceleration due to gravity negative. Okay. Velocity. Initial velocity also negative, final velocity also negative. Okay, negative. Next, if the object is thrown vertically upwards, then the displacement is positive. Acceleration due to gravity negative. It is always substitute G value as negative. Okay, V naught negative, V negative, positive. Why it is positive? It is moving upwards. Next, if an object is thrown vertically upwards from a building, if this is a building, if it is thrown upwards and it will reach some height and then it will fall, correct? If it is thrown upwards, then the displacement is negative. G is negative. See here, because it falls, negative. G always negative. What about the initial velocity? It is moving up. Initially it is moving up. So I have to write it as positive. Finally it will reach down. So it will come in this direction. So I have to put it as negative. Downwards it is negative. See how we are putting is just like a graph. Along the positive x-axis, if it is moving, we will put it as positive. If it is moving along the positive y-axis, we will mark it as positive. If it is moving along the negative x-axis, we will mark it as negative. If it is moving in the negative y-axis, then we will mark it as minus. See here, it is moving downwards. So negative y-axis, therefore everywhere negative. Here it is moving upwards, that is positive y-axis, therefore plus. G value should be always negative. Here, initially upwards, then downwards. So total displacement is negative. G is negative, V naught positive, V negative. Understood? These are the few of the rules to solve the problems. Understood? That is applying concept of applying the sign convention. Okay, we will solve the first question. Find the velocity of the particle for a time interval. This rule is important for solving the problems. 5 marks are there for your final exam for solving the problems. Not only final exam, in all exams the problem contains 5 marks. Okay, in physics. Okay, first question. Find the velocity of the particle for the time interval t is equal to 5 and t is equal to 10 seconds. You have to find out what? Velocity. From the graph. What is that graph? Let me plot it once again. The graph, okay. 5, 10, then 10, 20. How the graph is? Like this. Correct? A, B. Okay. 5. This is time. This is velocity. You have to calculate velocity. Velocity is equal to, this is x. Displacement. Correct? Okay. How to calculate velocity? Velocity is nothing but displacement by time. That is x2 minus x1 by t2 minus t1. x2 is how much? For 10 seconds. x2 is 20 minus x1 is 10 divided by 10 minus 5 is equal to 10 divided by 5. That is 5 ones are, 5 twos are. So velocity is equal to 2 meter per second. Correct? Velocity is equal to 2 meter per second. Understood? Understood? It's very easy, right? Shall I go for the next problem? Yes, here is the next problem. A car travels with uniform velocity of 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. The driver applies the brake and car comes to rest in 2 seconds. Calculate retardation. Retardation means decrease in acceleration. Correct? Speed decreases. Okay, second question. Car travels with uniform velocity 10 meter per second. Uniform velocity 10 meter per second. Initially it is moving with the velocity 10 meter per second. Correct? Then what happens? The driver applies the brake and car comes to rest in 2 seconds. So time is equal to 2 seconds. He applies the brake. We have to calculate acceleration. What is the acceleration it has taken? Stopping velocity, stopping distance it is. Correct? Okay, what about the acceleration? Finally it will stop, so V is equal to 0. Which expression we can take? V square is equal to V naught square plus 2AX. Is that? No, if it is, we have taken that, then we have to calculate, we should know the distance. But here we don't know the distance. So the formula which we can use is V is equal to V naught plus AT. 0 is equal to 10 plus GA, we don't know, T is 2. Correct? So we get 10 plus 2A is equal to 0. Or 2A is equal to minus 10. A is equal to minus 5. meter per second square. Minus is there means it is nothing but retardation. That itself they have asked us to calculate. Therefore, the answer is minus 5 meter per second square. And the question is what? The retardation. Hence, retardation is 5 meter per second square. Sentence. There you should not write minus. The word retardation